I want to thank the people on my team. The last several weeks has been just an amazing process. And the people that I've met not only have intellect and commitment to what's happening in our community, but they have passion too. And I feel like I've just made a group of my new best friends. And I know people will say, well, every time you meet someone in a bar, they're your new best friend. But it's really true. These people are committed. I'm learning so much, and our communication is great, and I'm very thankful for that. Specifically, I want to thank my campaign manager, Owen Freeman-Daniels. He's an inspiration. He seems a little austere, but he's actually quite mellow, and been a great help. And I asked him what his priorities were from now until the election, and he said, this is it. And I said, do you want to be my campaign manager? And he said, absolutely. He didn't hesitate. So there'll be many more meetings at his house. Jim Nash, who couldn't be here, but his wife is here. Where'd she go? Oh, there you are. And Dave and Wendy Newton. I don't know who's adopting whom, but I think I'm going to be spending a lot more time at their house with their wonderful rescued poodles. Maddie Blanchette, Margot Zolkind, and Lisa Baskin have all been a great help, as well as many other people, but those are the people I want to specifically thank. On Wednesday, we were working on the campaign. We were doing some photos for some of the handouts and stuff. And I looked up and I double-checked, and I said, look, there's a bald eagle. And it was white head, white tail. Takes them 5 years to fully mature and get that white. And it was absolutely a bald eagle. And I said, this is a sign, guys. This is a sign that we're going to be strong and that we're going to win. But then I also thought, okay, this bald eagle is flying over Ward 3. It sees our historic homes, our vibrant businesses, our beautiful fertile farmland, surrounded by the Connecticut River. He probably saw the potholes on North Street as well, but you know, the rest is good. In 1998, I can't believe it's been this long, but I started flying balloons out of here at the airport, and immediately fell in love with this area. The meadows, the airport. You look out these windows, you can see the Seven Sisters mountain range. And it's inspiring, and this area is loaded with history. In 2004, my business partner Bob Bacon and I purchased the airport. And I have working class roots, so have worked for everything, as have my parents. And we took a business that was teetering on financial failure and brought it back, and it was a lot of hard work and it was a lot of money. It spoke to our passion for flying. Bob's not here today, but he flies airplanes, a little bit of helicopters. I fly balloons and powered paragliders and a little bit of anything that's in the air. But it also spoke to our desire to take on difficult challenges. And this certainly was, because we were starting from a negative when we got this place. And there were a few old hangars. I hated to see them go because they were pre-World War II, but they were actually dangerous. We had to take them down. But we put up 23 new T hangars, 2 new community hangars. We did a lot of paving out here on the ramp area. This building downstairs was actually where we kept the balloons. It was just a big bay. And we tore down the old building that had the flight school in it and put a lot of money into making this the flight school, what's called the FBO, Fixed Based Operator, which is basically a communication center for any airplanes that are flying in here. We also started a youth flying program that, where's our person from the health department? We mistakenly called it a camp last year, and apparently when you call something a camp, you need like a nurse and a this and a that. And so my manager came to me last summer, he said, we're going to have to do all these things if we call ourselves a camp. I said, hang on. So I read the CMR. I'm like, okay, the only thing that makes us a camp is we called ourselves a camp. So I called up Ben Wood, right? Yeah. And I said, look, it was just an error in the choice of words, and the health department was great. And so we're a summer youth flying program. But it brings in a lot of kids from age like 11 or 12 to 14. And we get a lot of great feedback. Numerous people will stop me and say, oh, my child went through your summer camp. So we really feel good about that. Part of saving the airport wasn't just the financial challenge, but it was also in preserving history. Charles Lindbergh, that guy, yeah. I was going to say Amelia Earhart, but Charles Lindbergh flew in here. We couldn't get the photos today, but Dottie LaFleur, who lives up in Lathrop, has photographs of Charles Lindbergh in his open cockpit biplane, him in front, Ann Morrow, his future wife, in the back. She was attending Smith College at the time, and they're just about to go off flying. Amelia Earhart took flying lessons here, and she worked in downtown Northampton. I think at Sylvester's, I'm not sure. But so, you know, you think of these people. She was one of the greatest female aviators, and she flew here. Roger Atwood, who was a long-standing icon here, passed away a few months ago at age 88. He actually met Amelia Earhart, and he taught World War II pilots to fly here, and he knew a lot about the history. There's a lot of photographs that he has, too, that we'll be working with his family to make reprints of. So, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for the history that's down here. So you can see why it's very easy to fall in love with this place. I believe in investing in our community and have done so not just financially, but emotionally. I'm very committed to the city and especially to Ward 3, and we are full of characters, and I love it. But one of the most important goals is economic growth and job creation. We've created new jobs down here, but we really want to see more jobs within, not just within the ward, but within the city, and it's very important. With economic growth, we improve our tax base. We're not the only municipality that's in financial crisis right now. It's very important. We really need to be creative and think about how we're going to maintain the level of living that we have now. We have great schools, we have great services, and we want to keep it that way. My second goal is environmental protection and sustainability. Most of the farmland in Ward 3 is right out here as you look out the windows. There's over 4,000 acres of some of the most fertile agricultural land in the world out here, and we're very fortunate to have it. We've seen an increase in organic farming out here, which is nice. We're not seeing as many pesticides. And the meadows, as it's known as, it's officially named the Hockenham Meadows. Hockenham is an Indian word for, I don't know. But as an environmental police officer for 20 years, I patrolled out here for probably 17 of those 20 years, and I know the areas, all the little nooks and crannies, and how to get down there without going into four-wheel drive and how not to get stuck. But it's beautiful. People, they walk, they jog, they walk their dogs down here. I ride my horses. I'll take a drive in my truck. It's just a wonderful place to be, and you feel the soul of this area by being down in the meadows. So it's important for us to protect it and keep it open for everyone, because it's a great resource for us. The Three County Fairgrounds was created in 1818 and is the oldest continuously running fair in the United States. And we're very fortunate to have it. It's set on approximately 60 acres, and they've just started a multi-million-dollar facelift. Coming down here, if you accessed it from the airport, either from Old Ferry Road or Fair Street, you could see the new pole barns that are up, and it's just amazing. I've been watching for weeks with the big crane, and I just think, wow, those barns are going to be here a lot longer than I am, but it's really, really neat. This renovation project will allow the fairgrounds to at least double the amount of events that they hold here. And because it's an agricultural fairgrounds, they're required to have a certain percentage of the events that they hold down there to be agricultural in nature. Now, something like the Paradise City Arts Festival, which is fabulous, and they do 3 times a year, I think, 2 to 3 times a year. Okay, it's not agricultural, but it's a fabulous thing. It brings in a lot of great artists and a lot of great people to the area. It's going to increase revenues for the city. People will stay in hotels. They're going to go out to our restaurants. They're going to shop in our stores. They're going to buy our gas. And it's going to help the city by increasing that. And so that's really exciting to know that that's happening right now. The pole barns are just phase 1. There's actually 2 more larger phases that have to pass. But if passed and completed, this project is really going to add a lot to the city. And like the airport, it's interesting because you wouldn't necessarily hook historic preservation and economic growth together, but the fairgrounds does that as well. Community dialogue and consensus building. I really believe in teamwork and working together, and I often say we are working on this or we are working on that. It's so important to know what people within your community are thinking if you're going to be a good leader. And since I love talking so much, I'm going to enjoy it. I've enjoyed it so far, and I look forward to meeting many more people in the ward and within the city of Northampton. I want to know what people believe in. I want to know what they like about the ward and the city, what they don't like, what they think we need to work on, and I want to represent the people and have a good understanding of what their concerns are. In closing, as your city council, I'll work hard for economic growth, the environment, and consensus building. I'm ready to listen and prepared to lead. Thank you very much.